I am so excited for this panel tonight. Kat, Anthony, and Katie. They're constitutionalists. They're liberty lovers. Perhaps getting at the truth from different angles, but we're going to have a real good time. How obsessed are you with the Jussie Smollett story?
Obsessed. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to get into some of the particulars, but two of your co-hosts over at the Fifth Column, Anthony, Matt and Camille, both called BS on this story when it first came out.
Yeah, which adds some risk.
Yes.
There was a social and professional risk to even expressing any skepticism early on.
Skepticism is such a healthy and wonderful thing, and we don't have enough of it.
I agree.
So yeah, it's a little bit crazy, but I'm so glad we're talking about this tonight. I'm going to talk to Nick Gillespie about Amazon, which I think is so funny because this is yet another divide in the Democrat Party. I didn't think that this was going to be the litmus test. Like either you're a progressive or you love jobs.
You either hate evil corporations or you actually really hate evil corporations.
Yeah.
How much do you hate evil corporations?
Do you hate
That's
evil corporations,
the
or
question.
and do you hate your constituents?
Right.
Because
Apparently so.
yeah.
Apparently you don't want them having $150,000 jobs.
Yeah, that's
with health care and
no, these are not good paying jobs.
I was a constituent. I was for it.
Were you for it?
Yeah.
Before you were against it?
I didn't like the tax breaks,
No one likes tax
but I didn't mind. I live in that neighborhood. I'm a voter and a taxpayer in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I wanted it to come.
So what happens now to Long Island City?
Well, they're still developing. There's still tons of buildings going up, but there's a big
We
block
might
right near the
move
river.
Kennedalia headquarters to Long Island City because we heard that you can get a good condo.
It's a great place.
Quite a steal.
Quite happy there.
Sorry?
Yeah. What? No, not really. He's like, what? No! All right, well, enjoy everything about yourself. Goodbye. God bless Aaliyah. Cops in Chicago want to talk to Jussie Smollett, and they are working for a mutually beneficial time to do so after the actor's lawyer said he would not meet with investigators today. Mondays are tough. They say they want to follow up with the Empire star after his case took a big left turn over the weekend when police started looking into the possibility his alleged attack was staged. Smollett claims that he was assaulted by two men on January 29th in what he called a racial and homophobic attack by Trump supporters. On Friday, police questioned two Nigerian-American brothers they called possible suspects, but they were released without any charges being pressed. A spokesman for Chicago PD said they would neither confirm nor deny nor comment on anything until they speak with Smollett again. In the meantime, Democrats who rushed to judgment are now backtracking a little. Oh, I love this one. Kamala Harris originally tweeted the alleged attack was a, quote, attempted modern-day lynching. But she was at a loss for words today when reporters asked her to clarify that. Watch.
Which tweet? What tweet?
About saying that it is a modern-day lynching.
Okay, so I will say this about that case. I think that the facts are still unfolding, and I'm very concerned about, obviously, the initial allegation that he made about what might have happened, and it's something we should all take seriously whenever anyone alleges that kind of behavior. But there should be an investigation, and I think that once the investigation is concluded, then we can all comment. But I'm not going to comment until I know the outcome of the investigation.
No, she didn't have that restraint before. She had no problem commenting before the investigation took that twist. Well, let's bring in tonight's party panel. She's the editor for townhall.com and a Fox News contributor. Katie Pavlich is back, along with politics editor at Insider and producer of the Fifth Column podcast. It is Anthony Fisher. And the Greg Gutfeld Show correspondent and National Review Online contributor, Kat Timpf. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
So I can't get enough of this story. It's crazy.
It's crazy and great, but also awful all at the same time, right? Because this is something that was turned out to be a lie. It means that people are judging people for the truth based on not the facts or waiting for patience, but based on your skin color. And that goes both ways, stereotyping based on skin color, but also believing people based on skin color. We saw this in the Covington case where the Native American man was believed because he was Native American over the white Kentucky high school students. In this case, Jussie was automatically believed because he's a black man in America. Now, as we've seen more evidence come out, politicians like Kamala Harris don't want to talk about it after they rush to judgment.
Isn't that interesting?
Watching her look around kind of for her staff in a panic.
We didn't have time to play the full clip, but at one point she does that, like, awkward Kamala Harris giggle.
She better get used to people pulling up her tweets. I mean, if she can't remember this one tweet, she better get ready for it, because they're going to pull out her tweets.
She just didn't have an answer for it. She absolutely remembers it, because I don't think she's gotten this much attention for any tweets thus far. But what is the upside in rushing to judgment? What is the upside in throwing your digital hat in the ring?
Well, some people want to be the first to say, I called this. I saw this horrible thing unfold, and I'm going to have the insta take on it. But what we're seeing now, the upside for the rest of us who may have held our fire for a bit, is the value of due process, because it's not always about the accused, it's for all of us. Taking a moment to actually vet the facts, to make sure that the police have conducted their investigation and that it's not just a predetermined narrative, that's something that helps us all to move forward and judge, cases that happen in the future.
And one of the things that I keep going back to is, why would a handsome, successful, talented, well-known actor put his entire career on the line for something like this? People already hate the president. So what is his rationale? Like, what is Jussie Smollett thinking when he starts planning this and forking over a lot of money for a little bit of help from the brothers?
Right. Well, he has to be a crazy person. I think that's the only explanation, because no rational, sane person would ever do this. If you want a little bit of extra attention, you just post a selfie on Instagram like everyone else. You don't need to orchestrate a fake hate crime against yourself. I don't understand. I mean, he's probably a busy guy too, right? To carve out some time in his schedule to say, I'm going to fake a hate crime against myself. That's what I want to do with my time.
Extra rehearsal? Who has time for that?
Extra rehearsal? Doesn't he have enough rehearsal?
Exactly.
And now his life is basically over, because he really messed up. No one's going to trust him again, and everyone's going to know he's crazy. No sane person would do this.
Would you say he's the Amanda Bynes of network dramedies?
Yes.
Okay.
Except that's an insult to Amanda Bynes.
Maybe she'll hate tweet me tonight. That'll be fun. We've got much more with the panel coming up. Democrats are scrambling to find ways to cancel President Trump's national emergency declaration for the wall. And now landowners along the southern border could soon challenge the president's plan. It all has to do with ED. No, not electile dysfunction, eminent domain. I'll explain in the monologue next. Meanwhile, President Trump's senior advisor, Stephen Miller, he's quite problematic sometimes. He went on Fox News Sunday to defend his boss's emergency declaration. And, of course, the interview got a little tense.
This is part of a national security
mission.
But
it has never done this under a national emergency where President...
We've declared national emergency to promote democracy in Belarus, to promote democracy in Zimbabwe.
But it didn't involve taking money that Congress refused to appropriate.
They didn't refuse to appropriate it. They passed a law specifically saying the president could have this authority. It's in the plain statute. That's a decision that Congress made. And if people don't like that, they can address it.
Yeah, like he addressed Chris Wallace's cosmopolitan bias. The left has universally condemned Trump's emergency declaration, and the right has given it pretty mixed reviews. Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, they're all in on President Trump's move, but liberty-leaning politicians like Rand Paul and Justin Amash have criticized it as bad precedent and potentially unconstitutional. So what will the political fallout be for the president's emergency declaration? The party panel is back. Katie Pavlich, Anthony Fisher, and Kat Timpf. So, Anthony Fisher, I will start with you. Rand Paul said, I'm all for strong border security, but this is a horrible idea. Do you agree with that?
I think it's a horrible idea. I'm not as hawkish on immigration as Rand Paul is, but, I mean, does anyone remember when Barack Obama said, I've got a phone and a pen? Like, people were outraged by the executive orders. This is a leap beyond an executive order.
It is, and, you know, there's so much, and Democrats love this. There have been several Democrats say, oh, really, this is all you need to do? Because I have some things that are really important to me, so I could just go grab a bunch of money that wasn't designated for this project or purpose and go ahead and use it any way I wish.
I think that the Democrats are simplifying this a little too much by extending it to all of these other things that they call emergencies. Now, Mike Lee, who is a pretty constitutionalist, has said, look, this is legal, it's bad, it's unconstitutional, but it is Congress's fault for repeatedly ceding their power to the executive branch. You may not like what the president is doing, but Congress has not done their duty to fix this problem. So that doesn't mean that the president can come in and do whatever he wants. So how would they do that, though? So if you have the Senate Majority Leader pretty much acquiescing to what the president says,
aren't they talking out of both sides of their mouth?
Well, and it's not even just about addressing the specific issue of the wall. It's about taking back some of the power that they have given to the executive branch through different legislation over the years. So take the wall out of it, take the issue out of it. If you don't like any president using executive authority or declaring national emergencies on something that Congress should be doing, then it's up to Congress to take back resolutions or to pass resolutions that take power back from the executive branch.
And to Katie's point, not agreeing with the president overstepping the bounds of executive action, because there were conservatives who were really frustrated when President Obama did that. As Anthony pointed out, if it's not okay over there, it shouldn't be okay over here.
Right, absolutely. I completely agree that everyone freaked out when he made that phone and a pen comment. Everyone was up in arms about him abusing his power, and now that it's a Republican doing it, they're saying, well, of course, we have to do this. So I think that you really should be careful about the precedent that this sets, because next time the president might not be a Republican or might not do something that you are a fan of them doing. And if they can just go ahead and do it without Congress, that should be something that scares you.
Can I just say, though, that I don't believe that the president argument holds a ton of water, because Democrats are the ones who got rid of the filibuster. So this idea that because Republicans did it first and therefore Democrats wouldn't do it, I don't think really stands. The issue is whether Republicans are going
Democrats
to hold true to their constitutional statements.
Democrats will take government power to spend money they don't have in any way they possibly
Right, whether
can.
Trump would have done this or not.
Yes, but that just gives legitimacy to their...
Now they can say, hey, he did it.
Yeah.
Why do you have a problem?
They can certainly
they can
up the game severely.
But they can also say, AOC said climate change is going to kill us in 12 years. Yeah. So, we should probably militarize coal mines.
Gun control and climate change will be a big thing if
Absolutely.
if there's a Democratic president in 2020.
Yeah, they got no problem sidestepping the Constitution. Beto O'Rourke thinks it's disgusting.
Beto O'Rourke's going to tear the walls down.
With his bare hands.
Right. He's going to tear them all down.
Yeah.
They're all coming down, people.
Manly. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Anthony and Katie. Woo! Coming up, breaking news on Rod Rosenstein's job that he may not have for much longer. Plus, Democrats are split after Amazon's Audible on building headquarters in New York City. Some say the deal would have created a boom for the local economy. Others argued it was cronyism at its worst. Can they all be right? Nick Gillespie he's next.